Hello, dear viewer. Today we will talk about rain. Rain falling from the sky is a common occurrence. Space debris falling from the sky is also a normal and understandable phenomenon, although scary. However, what about strange objects like cows or golf balls falling from the sky just like the pouring rain? In history, there have been cases when people have watched such strange and unusual things fall from the sky as spiders, blood, raw meat, money, live sharks, frogs, worms, and even jellyfish. Most of these cases still remain a mystery, but some scientists were still able to find reliable explanations. Scientists and meteorologists explain that insects such as spiders build their nests high in the crowns of trees, and these nests can be exposed to strong gusts of wind. At the same time, tornadoes and water tornadoes can suck in unsuspecting animals such as frogs, worms, and jellyfish, as well as golf balls, and carry them for hundreds of kilometers, and then forcefully throw them to the ground. It is this throwing that gives people the impression that strange things like rain fall from the sky. We created this top 10 of the most shocking things that have fallen from the sky so that you know how shocking a rainy day can become. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. It will be interesting, so watch it to the end. Let's begin. Money. A 24-year-old woman from Germany was mesmerized by euro notes falling from the sky around her car. She quickly hit the brake pedal, jumped out of her car, and energetically began to collect as much money as she could. Then she drove to the nearest police station, where she handed over the huge amount of money she had collected. She told the police that she tried to collect all the money, but it was too much. Then she led authorities to the scene, but could not find anything. No one knows where the money came from. What a mystery. Raw meat. In October 2012, Casey Bernard of Uman, Virginia, was hit in the head with a piece of meat during a riding lesson. Two more huge chunks fell side by side. Witnesses of this incident, teachers, parents, and students, said that nothing that day did not portend such precipitation. The first suspect was a food waste processing plant. However, the administration of the plant categorically denied any involvement in this incident. The second likely candidate for the role of the criminal was a farm nearby. But in the end, everyone came to the conclusion that the gulls were to blame. For example, back in March 1876, the New York Times ran a story on the front page about a Kentucky housewife. She was doing laundry in her yard when fresh meat suddenly began to fall from the sky. The meat rain lasted for several minutes, after which the woman decided to call specialists to clarify the circumstances. Witnesses confirmed that the meat littered the entire yard. Two daredevils even tasted the meat and claimed it was mutton or venison. No one could explain how the meat ended up in the sky. However, they do not rule out the possibility that the vultures, flying over the house, just regurgitated their last lunch on an unsuspecting housewife. Blood rain. In 2008, the residents of the small town of La Sierra Chaco in Colombia had to experience something strange. They said it rained blood in their small neighborhood. A bacteriologist was then called in to analyze the liquid. He confirmed that it was blood. A community priest named Johnny Milton Cordoba got scared. He told his flock that God had sent them a sign, encouraging them to renounce the evil deeds they were committing. These incidents have been recorded before in history. According to legend, Zeus twice sent a rain of blood to notify people of the impending mass death in battle. Cow. In 1997, a cow that inexplicably fell from the sky crashed into a Japanese fishing boat. The cow hit the boat so hard that the boat capsized. A team of fishermen were rescued and put in jail for a few weeks. At this time, representatives of the Russian Air Force with shame contacted the Japanese authorities and explained that one of the pilots of the Russian cargo plane stole a cow that was grazing at the Siberian airfield, and drove it on the plane. When the plane took off, the cow became nervous and began to kick, which threw the plane off balance. It was at this point that they decided to get rid of her, as they were still flying over the ocean. Golf balls. On September 1, 1969, residents of the city of Punta Gorda in the state of Florida, waking up, saw a strange phenomenon. They found hundreds of golf balls along sidewalks, in manholes, in courtyards, on streets, and even on the islets of Punta Gorda Isles. Some officials from the local Punta Gorda Police Department, as well as Charlotte County Sheriff's Office, tried to convince local residents that it had been raining golf balls all night. So what caused this strange rain? Meteorologists recall that a tornado passed near Punta Gorda, which picked up hundreds of golf balls from numerous golf courses in the area and dropped them on the city. Puppy. In childhood, many children dream of having a puppy, but parents, as a rule, answer this with an unquestioning no. Children turn their prayers to other forces, hoping that the puppy will miraculously appear on the porch of the house. This is exactly what happened once. In May 2012, 7-year-old Taylor Calloway and his grandmother were spending time in the backyard of their Los Baños, California home. Suddenly a puppy fell from the sky onto the porch. The fate of the dog was predetermined by his grandmother, who told the boy, "If God sends you a puppy, you must leave him." After the dog entered their life epic, they realized that he miraculously managed to escape the tragic fate of being eaten by a hawk circling nearby. TJ Havenly, as the puppy was named, was allegedly caught at a local junkyard, and the claw marks prove he was caught by a bird. After the incident, DJ was taken to a veterinary clinic, where he was successfully examined. Now the dog lives with Taylor and his grandmother, where besides TJ there is a wide range of cats, dogs, horses and hawks. Fish. In 2010, the residents of the town of La Janama were shocked when fish began to fall from the sky on their town. Residents who confirmed that the fish was still alive when it landed on the ground quickly collected it. A local resident called his family in another city to share the news, but they took his story as a joke. Just as with golf balls, meteorologists confirmed that the rain of fish was caused by a tornado that sucked fish out of rivers and dumped them hundreds of kilometers away. One of the local residents named Leigh Dillon also confirmed that this phenomenon is not the first time in their town. The same fish rain passed over the town 30 years ago. Shark. In October 2012, a live leopard shark fell from the sky near the 12th hole at the San Juan Hills Golf Club in San Juan Capistrano, California. The unsuspecting marshal was walking around the field when he caught sight of this shark. Finding nothing better, the guy threw the animal into the back seat of a golf cart and headed to the club. After the fall, the shark stubbornly refused to die, so it was placed in the water, where it swam in circles, making eyes at the staff. Finally, one of the club's employees decided to take the animal to the Pacific Ocean 8 kilometers from the club. How did the shark end up on the golf course? Most likely, it was caught in the ocean by a large bird, as the body was marked with stab wounds from claws and blood. Apparently, the shark had a bad day 3 times. First, it was caught by a huge bird, then it was thrown on the golf course, and then it was found by people who poked it with golf clubs. Peregrine falcons and ospreys could be strong enough birds for such a burden, according to experts at the Ocean Institute at Dana Point. If the shark had been lighter, the birds would have dined well. Spiders. Eric Reyes had just finished videotaping his friend's wedding in Santo Antonio de Plantina and was driving home when thousands of spiders suddenly began to fall from the sky on his car moving along the road. He was so mesmerized by the unusual sight that he pulled out his video camera to capture this strange event. Thousands of Anelisima spiders were falling from the sky around him. A biologist from the Pontifical Catholic University of Paraná explained that spiders of this species build their webs high in trees, which is why they are affected by strong gusts of wind. When strong winds blow, their gusts can pluck spiders from the treetops and carry them over vast distances. Worms. In 2007, when Eleanor Beale went to work for the Jennings Police Department, her gut told her something was wrong. A moment later, small brown balls rained down from the sky. The situation was one where detailed examination would hardly be welcome. Beale found that these were large clusters of worms. To make sure that she had not completely lost her mind, Eleanor called her employee, who confirmed that they were indeed worms. Where did the sky worms come from? They couldn't have just appeared out of thin air. Scientists are inclined to believe that the tornado swallowed the worms from a nearby lake, and then decided to turn them into the police joke. At the same time, it is not clear why such a huge number of worms were at a height for a long time and fell only near the police station. But this happens quite often. In April 2011, PE teacher David Crichton, playing football with his students from the Scottish Galashiels Academy, also witnessed a worm rain. Crichton said he heard soft thudding sounds as the worms fell to the ground, and the students began to run away with screams of terror. Crichton and other teachers reported that worms covered tennis courts and sports fields. Crichton and one of the representatives of the Department of Science settled on the opinion that it was extremely strange precipitation for these places. And since there is nothing better to do, we will accept this theory. The weather was cloudless that day, and Galashiels is more than 50 kilometers from the nearest beach. What thing scares you the most if it were to fall from the sky? Leave a comment below. Press the bell so you won't miss the next video. See you soon.